should. And I think I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. But to see how that goes. During lockdown, I figured, YouTube was something I always wanted to do. So why not now? It's a great time. YouTube is just soaring with the views right now. Everyone is on YouTube, so it's a great time to just to hop on board. So I get this question asked a lot. You know, hey Jamal, how do you become a software engineer? So especially at such a young age. Well, it wasn't easy. I think I probably made that. I got that role by maybe faith. But anyways, I'm gonna tell you guys how I became a software engineer. So backstory: I was born on an island called Anguilla in the Caribbean. Lovely island, small tropical island, lovely beaches. And once I completed high school, I wanted to pursue my college education. So I came to Pennsylvania and I went to this college named CalU, California University of Pennsylvania. And there I got my computer information science degree. But while I was attending college, I really didn't have like a clear understanding on what it is I actually wanted to do at the time. So I just followed through on the program because computers is something that I enjoy working with. I'm fascinated about software and how pretty much how things work in the IT world. So 3 years later, finished school a little early, and I got my degree in computer information systems. The crazy thing is, after school, like many of us, I tried seeking, a job. That in itself, my friends, was extremely challenging. Think about it. Everyone from school and college at IT graduated, they all looking for the same job. Whether it's in Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Philly, all the big cities in my area. So so after school, I got the degree. I think I went back home for like maybe a month or two back to Anguilla, and that was great just to decompress, relax, enjoy the beach before life really begins. So, anyways, after tirelessly searching for jobs on Indeed, even created a LinkedIn profile at the time so I can see what type of jobs are in the area. I put a couple applications out. Um, didn't get much responses back. It was expected. Right after college, a lot of these companies expect some type of work experience, but they want you to have a degree and still have some work experience. Which I get it, but everyone got to start somewhere. So after countless um, no responses back from a couple employers, I decided to like look into smaller jobs. So what I was looking for at the time was a developer, a Java developer. I was looking for website builder, pretty much a web designer, anything along that line because I had experience in that in that area of IT. I would say web development, how to troubleshoot problems. So that was my general ball feel of my expertise. Back in Anguilla, I used to do a lot of photography, did a lot of weddings. Can you imagine? As you can imagine, it's a wedding destination. So did a lot of photography and videography back in my days. Well, I'm not that old, so I shouldn't say back in the days, just maybe like 6, 7 years ago. Anyways, that was fun in itself. But back to the story. I couldn't find a job in the field that I wanted, so what I did was I bite my tongue and say, you know what? Let's try for the help desk maybe. Let's try something in the simplest form. To my surprise, I didn't get a call back for that either. So here am I, just out of college, got my degree, ready to work, but no one was ready to hire me at the time. So I settled for pretty much in a job at the point. I was broke, needed some money. So I took a job that pretty much won't reject you unless, as long as you're not a criminal or anything like that. But what I did was I took a call center, pretty much a call rep position, where you answer phone calls. Borrowers need to make some payments or they can't make any payments. So you can imagine those calls wasn't really pleasant. So I got that job. Not gonna lie, it was absolutely one of the. Mm, let's just say it was a job that I really didn't enjoy. It was tough. What makes it even worse is the schedule that the job had for me. For us, I would say you would come in at, let's say, 11 a.m. and finish at 9. And to add insult to injury, they will want you to come in um, just 1 hour earlier. So imagine being at the work at 10:30 to 9 all day. Your day is inconvenience. That's how I felt like I would. Being young, I would stay up a little late. Still got the college life in me, and waking up at 9:30, even almost 10 sometimes, when I didn't have to come in for the 1 hour, was extremely, extremely just tiresome. Like as you wake up, you take a shower, brush your teeth, and you got to hit the road to grind. And the time you leave work, 9 o'clock, you miss the whole afternoon. You're tired, a little frustrated. The borrowers and the customers are. I mean, when it comes to money and payments, and then folks can't really make payments, it's not really going to be too much of a pleasant call. So there's a lot of that. Anyways, looking back at it now, I was glad to be in that role because. Anyways, let me continue the story before I get sidetracked. So boom, after being in that position for like 4 to 5 weeks, every day was just a struggle to go to work. I know this was not for me. Like the alarm clock used to go off, and I used to be mad. Like here we go again. Ah, it's crazy. So, anyways, I was being patient. Um, I figured like, hey, this is a big cooperation. I'm at the bottom, literally at the bottom of the food chain. Well, not say the food chain, of the corporate train, and I have to walk my way up. So the good thing about the employer is that they like to hire from within, and if you're diligent, there will be some internal postings that that are in the field of IT. So what I did was every other week I would check the website or check the job board just to see if anything is posted, see if anything is in IT um that could just spark my interest pretty much. Because again, this job was tough. It was really tough. So yeah, a couple weeks passed, and to my luck, IT position came up. Man, when I tell you I was hyped, I was so hyped that this opportunity came because it was something that I could actually relate to. This job was a quality analyst. So pretty much you would, test web applications, make sure they function the way they are, test the websites, making sure things appear on the screen as is or what they're expected to. So again, I was always familiar with web design. I built a lot of websites. So this was really up my alley. Um, as a web developer, you test your code, you test your application naturally. So to just test this was just like, I don't know, just something that I'm just so familiar with. So anyways, I put my application out there, and I got a call back from HR saying, "Hey, would you be able to take an interview because you're a good candidate, and let's see how it goes." I kid you not, guys. When I got first the email first, it was an email actually, and then the representative called me a day after once we once I replied back to the email. So yeah, once she called me, um, she asked me, when I will be free. I told her I work in a call center currently, and the only time I'll be available is on my lunch break, which was 30 minutes. So I scheduled my interview, my interview, um, right during my lunch break. Man, I just hop on this moment because again, I was just desperate to get out of this current job right now and to just soar into a role that I'm passionate about. So HR called me up, get a quick little interview, and she liked my responses. She think everything was good, and she said, Mr. Richard, would you like to follow up for an in-person interview with the manager and the lead, and we'll see how it goes. When I tell you, I was so excited. I was absolutely excited. I was like, yes, 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 this is it. Whew. Gotta make everybody back home proud. Now I need to at least get my foot into the door. I need to do this. So I remember when the meeting was coming up for the interview, and I was just preparing what am I gonna say? Do I come in acting, I know it all, or do I just be myself? You know, I'm not a big believer in putting on a fraud or putting on a show just to make people happy and impress. If you're gonna do something, you should do it, and you're as honest and as transparent as you could be. One second, let me put the baby in this thing. Oh, okay. That was a fail. I'm sorry. I just wanted to put you in your swing over there. You gotta cry. Anyways, so yeah, I know this opportunity. I could not neglect this opportunity. And again, the night before was a lot of things going through my mind, but I decided just to be my authentic self. Just just speak about what you like doing, why you apply for the role, and how do you see yourself being an asset or a great help for the organization. And I just did that. I walked in my resume for the meeting. Um, my first time doing a meeting like at this caliber where I have both the manager and the lead, um, in the room at the same time. And I remember, I remember when I said to myself before I went to the meeting is that I'm gonna take charge of this meeting. I'm gonna call the shots. Yeah, I remember saying that I'm gonna go into this meeting and I'm gonna take control. I wanna be doing most of the talking, explaining who I am and what I can do. And I remember being in the meeting, speaking for 20 minutes after they say, "Hey Jamal, nice to meet you. Can you please tell me a little bit about yourself?" At that moment, again, I took complete control. I spoke at least for 20 minutes. And what I did was I talked about everything that they wanted to hear from the job description. I spoke about how I, test applications, um, how I built websites, how I have a knack for detail, um, being creative. I did photography, weddings, working on the pressure and tight schedules, like things like that. Just being authentic, open self. And I spoke about how I could, use my skills and talents to help the agency achieve stop it, achieve what they wanted to achieve. So at the end of me talking, I saw the manager and looked over to his lead. Hey, I saw the manager looked over to his lead, and it was just like a nod of confirmation. He asked him, "Hey, okay, do you have any questions for Jamal? Do you have anything else?" And he was completely less mind blown. He just listened. He said, "I think I heard it all, or heard enough, or heard it all. Not I heard enough, but he said he heard it all, and I think he said he never did this." Like, what you mean? He said, I don't think I ever hired someone on the spot at an interview, and I just commend you for your delivery and how you portray yourself. That like out of many applications, a lot of people always want to tell us things that okay, a lot of people fake their way, as in they're not authentic. They just try to speak or please, just speak in a way that, oh gosh, not pick my words up. Speak in a way that could, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not getting my words out. They just want to speak in a way that would make them seem that they're extremely valuable or they know what they're talking, but they're not really authentic. They're just saying these buzzwords. That's the thing. They're just saying these buzzwords. So, in a nutshell, that's how I got introduced into the basic level of software engineering. And what I became was a quality analyst. And looking back at it, there was a lot of lessons that I learned in there. And one of those lessons is, or one of those lessons are, one of those lessons is, off my English. One of those lessons is that it's not where you start in life, you know? Never be scared to take a chance. Never be scared to bring down your expectations. Um, once like a lot of college graduates, when they get out of college, they expect things to happen for them like immediately, like I went here, I need this. And once I got into the real world, and I realized that's not the way it is. You know, you you have to work hard and try to earn the spot that you're trying to achieve, because there's a lot of people trying to achieve the same thing that may have more skills than you with experience and years. But anyway, sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith. Sometimes you just have to say, you know what, this is not where I want to be right now, but hey, this is what I would do for the meantime, and let's see how things work from there. I'm not gonna say it's gonna work like this all the time, but the moral is you gotta take a chance. You gotta just bring down your expectations a little bit when you first starting off, because what's meant for you will be for you. I went through that. Oh, there you go. So I went through that vigorous training to be a customer service representative, and as I was saying before, I'm glad that I took that training, because once I got into the IT world, everything that I learned in training of being a customer service representative all started to make sense. I started to write better queries to find data because I knew exactly what the criteria was. I know exactly what time frames things happen. Um, and just a lot of the business rules and the logic behind of it started to really make sense. And it was a no-brainer that once I got into my first IT job as a quality analyst, my my advancement in that role has not declined. I've been a quality analyst for like 6 months. Right after that, I got promoted to be more of a functional analyst, whereas you're invited to most of the business meetings and you still do your manual testing, but you have a seat at the table pretty much. So after become a functional tester, um, our organization started to go into automated testing. And at first I was like a little skeptical about the automation testing. Didn't know what to do, what to expect. Same extremely complicated automation, robots. But in the actual fact, it was nothing like that. It was pretty much automating the manual tasks that we used to do. So here's another opportunity for me to grow. So I applied. I can't remember even applying. I just didn't apply actually. I don't know why I didn't apply. But yeah, I didn't apply. What happened was the folks that did apply was a small team at the time. It was about 6 people, a group of 6. And one person was leaving, and as a small team, they really needed a complete team. They really needed that 6 person. So a job opening went up, and the manager of the automation testing reached out to me. He said, "Hey Jamal, I've been hearing a lot of feedback from the automation guys upstairs saying that you're a really good manual tester. You have a sense of detail, creativity. Um, is this something that you would like to pursue?" I was like, "Huh." I remember when that manager, automation manager, and my current manager, who was the functional manager at the time, both had me in the room, and she pretty much said, "Hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay here, or do you want to, come over on my side?" I could see the look on my current manager's face at the time. He was looking like, "Are you gonna do this for real, Jamal?" Sure did. Yes, yes, I am gonna do this. Um, Opportunities when they come knocking at your door, I always say, you gotta hop on it. There's nothing worse than a neglected opportunity, man. So without a doubt, I took a chance and say, "Yep, I'll join over to the team." Um, and that's how I became an automation engineer. What made it crazy to know that, I'm actually tapping into my purpose is when, again, I was on this team and my manager was just keep giving me good reports and comments of my progress and how I was mature enough to like handle, tough meetings. When a tough question was being tossed out there, you would respond in a way that would make it easy for everyone to understand. Um, you just said like you just have a way of words, you have a way of telling people when something may be wrong, but you don't offend them. You How words, man. So and I get it. That wasn't the first time I heard that. I heard that from a couple people, that said, "Hey Jamal, I mean, you tell me my code was a little messed up and I didn't get offended and you're just easy to work with." And it's hard. Something like that is hard to find. You say, you're a people's person and something like that will take you far. And I was like, why are people so scared to speak up? Why are people, don't want to voice their opinion? And I mean, sometimes we live in a world where, people would rather stay silent, um, and just go with the flow. And very few people actually would like to speak up. Some people fear criticism, fear having that spotlight on them. And at first, I was a little shy growing up too, but I started getting myself reading better books, trying to figure out how the people on the top made it to the top. And it all comes to being, you know, you gotta let people know who you are in life. You gotta speak up. You gotta speak your opinion. People respect you for your opinion. You know, when there's a meeting and no one is answering the question or no one wants to say what's wrong, you be the person that said what's wrong. You know, say, hey, this application is moving extremely slow. Um, I think this performance team needs to get some better metrics and better results. You know, call them out if you have to. You know, don't sugarcoat it. Let them know, hey, this impacts um, you know, you, me, the business. This impacts the end user at the end of the day. So we gotta do this right. And people just loved it. People just love that, you know, you would give your opinions, give good feedback, always willing to teach, willing to learn, and that's all you have to do. So currently right now where I'm at, I'm a senior automation engineer. And again, like I finished school in 2016. Um, we're currently in 2020. So within 4 years, I came from, you know, working on the call center to becoming a senior automation engineer, working from home due to COVID full time right now. And I just want to let everybody know that this stuff is possible, you know. No matter what people may say, no matter what people may look at you and try to make their assumptions about you, you can achieve anything you want as long as you put your mind to it. Sometimes you make a little bit of sacrifices, and again, you just be authentic. If that's anything I would like to say, just be authentic. So thank you guys for watching. I hope I was be able to share some knowledge. This is gonna be my first YouTube channel video, excuse me. This is gonna be my first YouTube video, and like and subscribe button. On this channel, I'm gonna be talking to you more about automation testing. I'm gonna be talking to you more about photography and videography, and what's it like, you know, being a new dad. You know, I got my little son here with me, proud of my life. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of cool content, man. Please subscribe. This my girlfriend don't think I could make like 1,000 subs before the end of the year, so I hope I could prove her wrong. She's like, oh Jamal, you buying all this equipment, you buying all this stuff. The baby needs this, the baby needs that. How are you gonna use it? Oh, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna be definitely be dropping more videos. So stay tuned. Peace out.